So we're gonna do that again, get a better drift in there. There we go. Yep. That is a nice fish. Whew. Oh, look at that fish. Look at that fish. Welcome back to Tightlining Maryland. I am out in a small stream here in PA. I was suggested by PA Woods and Water to head out to this little stream. So Scott, thank you for the piece of advice. I'm going to be chasing small wild brown trout, although I do think that there could be a nice mix of stocked and wild fish, and who knows, maybe we'll pick up a nice one. But I know for a fact that it's got a good population of brown trout. It feeds Penn's Creek, and there are a ton of tribs that feed Penn's, so I'm not necessarily saying anything out of the norm here. You know, you guys could hit a bunch of them, and they've got brookies, they've got browns, they've got brooks and browns mixed. This one does have both, but in the section I'm going to be fishing in, it's going to be predominantly wild brown. So just really excited to get on the stream, hopeful to land a couple nice fish. It's absolutely gorgeous. The stream looks like it's in good shape, and it's up a little bit because there's been a ton of rain. I didn't fish Penn's Creek this weekend because it was sitting at around 650 to 700 CFS, so that puts me right here on this stream chasing ideal conditions for small stream trout. So sit back, tune in, smash that subscribe button if you haven't already. I greatly appreciate it. We're going to get to 1,000 real soon, and thank you to everybody that's been a part of the ride to get there. So I'm excited. Let's get some fish on film for you. So, no joke, you saw me do a drift and then my camera died. My memory card was out, and great pool. And right as I take my third drift in it, I pick up a fish. It's a stacked rainbow, but still pretty cool to have gotten a nice fish here in this this pretty large pool. So no net. There he is. Nothing special. Pretty fish, but definitely a stocky. Let's get him back. Alright, so we got a brown, two browns and a rainbow. And I got a couple good pools between here and right up ahead. I can see that I got some more good water. So pretty nice to have a chance to fish some deeper holes and get some fish. A lot of this has been real riffles and runs. So just got to try to get to depth and meet these fish down where they're at. So what I'm doing is fishing the outside of the foam, just trying to hit the softer spots and see if any fish are congregating there. Now we're going to hit the inside of the top part. There we go. Nice. So like I've said this before, I think I said it on a video earlier today, or excuse me, earlier on this trip, and it looks like we got a wild brown. That's a nicer fish too, especially for this little stream. Oh. Stock brown, but still nice fish. We'll take it. we go. Picked up a third fish. He was sitting at the bottom, right where this, I'll show you in a second, right where you really got a lot of torrent current. Looks like, what do we get here? Wild brown. So we caught a stocked rainbow, stocked brown, and now a wild brown out of this creek in the same spot. Man, that fish is gorgeous. Look at that. Where this dumps in, it has to be what looks to be, I don't know, 4 or 5 feet deep at least. Probably a ton of fish in here, and I'm not even going to be able to fish it out. I'll give it a good run though. So we've caught fish now, kind of like how I said, breaking the water down into thirds, and in this case, this is really just the first third. I don't know, because it's a back eddy, you can kind of see how the foam kind of comes around and then back in to some degree. There was a fish that just rose in the center, you probably saw it. I don't know how I'm going to be able to fish that. I mean, realistically, if I were really trying to be versatile, I would go dry dropper, put a dry with a nymph underneath of it, and fish that center part, because you're not going to get a good drift through there considering it's all back eddies. But what I did do is, with this real main current, this nice flow of water that, you know, really looks like it's got hydraulics coming up out of the bottom. I mean, it's really pumping water off of those falls. I got one on the inside of the seam. I got one on the center part right at the base of the seam, and then up at the top left-hand side. So we've got 1, 2, 3. And then what we'll try to do is we'll get a couple nymphs into the center, see if we can get a drift, and then we'll go to the far side and fish that too. But, you know, 3 fish out of this hole is definitely a huge success. So I'm at my next spot, and there are a ton of obstructions. I got a tree here, tree here, tree here, and up above. So there's really not any good place to cast. I mean, usually I would use a, you know, water-loaded cast and kind of roll it over the top. Problem is, I'd probably hit that, I'd probably hit that. It's not gonna lead to a good drift. So I like this little pocket. I don't know if I'll catch any fish out of it. You never know. But I think that it could hold a fish, and I wanna be able to get a good drift through it. In order to do that, and if I wanna hit the sweet spot, which is right about diagonal to me with that tree, if I can get in that lane of current, that's where I think a fish would be hiding, somewhere in here. It's got good protection, good water flow. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bow and arrow, just hold the back fly, okay? So I've got my, you know, other fly, the tag fly, kind of right up top, and I'm gonna hold the back part on the bend of the hook, and I'm just gonna hold it and basically tighten it up so that way the line is completely taut and then the rod is bent, and then I'm just gonna let it go, and then that's how I can get my drift right through that hole, and that's how I get my fish. Look at that. Look at that. Man, I couldn't have done that any better and gotten lucky enough to get that on film. That's something else. So even if we don't get this fish in, because I don't have a net, and this is a good fish too. It's not a great fish, but you know, for a small stream, this is definitely a bruiser. So oh yeah, oh yeah, woo. All right, let's get this guy back. He's probably a healthy 12-13 inches. I have a measuring thing on me, but I'm not gonna take it out and waste it. So that was a thing of beauty. Definitely the right thought process, the right hole, the right drift. You know, that guy laying in that hole is why you come out to these small streams, and that's why you practice over and over again getting things wrong, because there have been times where I've been in this tree, there have been times where I've gotten tangled in that tree up above, and over time you just start to figure things out. And hopefully that little, you know, tutorial on how to do a bow and arrow cast and, you know, how to land your fish is basically gonna help you the next time you hit the stream. That way you can land a beautiful fish like that. So let's keep after it. Let's hit a couple more holes and let's wrap it up. So I didn't have the camera on for that one. I just missed another fish in this same hole. Drifted on the inside part of the seam and stuck a fish, but didn't hook it. There he is. Definitely not as big as the other one, but I'll take it. Beautiful. There he goes. Another really pretty wild brown. All right, so that little hole, you know, that a lot of people probably would not take the time to fish or wouldn't think that there would be quality fish in it. I picked one up right in the middle of the current, right where I said the sweet spot is, and then I picked one up in the top side of the current. He actually hit twice. I think I stuck him once, unless there's 3 fish in there, which I doubt. Could it happen? Sure. But odds are, you know, this is only going to hold, you know, for nice fish. And I felt when I set the hook, I could feel a little bit of weight to it. You know, for having nice fish in at 10 inches plus, you know, 8 to 10 inches plus, because I think that one was probably 9, 10. The other one was, you know, 12, 13. You know, this little spot right here, it's really only going to host a couple decent fish in it. So pretty cool to get, you know, 2 fish for you right on film using the bow and arrow cast in tight quarters. Now, one thing about these last couple casts that did not go as I had hoped is that basically I didn't get the nymphs in the same line of current, so that's going to create drag, and then therefore you don't get a drift. So as soon as I made a little bit better cast, oh, I think that was a brookie. Lost himself. I think that was a tiny little brookie. I know that they're in here in the upper reaches, but I really think that was a brookie. There we go. Another nice brown. So this stream has definitely paid off in a big way. Oh, there he pops off. So stream has definitely paid off in a big way in terms of having good numbers of wild brown trout in it. And this might be my new favorite stream close to where I'm staying here in PA. So I'm excited that I was able to fish a new stream and get into such nice fish. So I'm crossing back over. I don't like that I don't care for the fact that I'm currently upstream of all the fish I want to fish to, but I'm hopeful that since the water's a little high and off color, just a smidge, that they're not going to be as spooky. But I'm actually going to cross again, I think. The reason why I'm doing what I'm doing is that I'm crossing in the faster water, because then it doesn't create as big of a ripple effect downstream. So if I can cross where it's not going to impact the fish below me, then I'm better off for it. So the other reason why I'm crossing here is because I like on the far side some of that water, and I think if I wait on this side, it'll give me a better chance of catching fish along that side. So we're going to go all the way down and then work our way back up and see if that doesn't produce any fish. Just missed one. So set the hook on and brought him to the top, but it popped out. He was right in the middle of the current. Just had another little tap. There we go. Tiny little brown. All right, 2 inches. Maybe 2.5. Man, gotta love this stream. I mean, look at that. You can catch one this size and then get one that's 13 inches, you know, 12, 13 inches. You can't beat that. This has been an absolute pleasure. This place is a gem. Not to mention, I have not caught one chub or dace the entire time. All trout. So that is definitely a positive. So we got some undercut banks here. I think a brown trout could easily be tucked up in here. Again, another spot to walk past and not even be thinking about it, but we're gonna see if something doesn't come out to play. So something definitely took. So something's in there ready to play. I think it's gonna be a more sizable fish, probably 8 to 12 inches. So we're gonna do that again, get a better drift in there. There we go. Yep. That is a nice fish. That is a super nice fish. I just gotta keep him out of that area because he cannot, I can't afford for him to go back in there. Damn, I wish I had a net. This is a great fish. There's just really no way. Oh, that hook popped out. Whew. Oh, look at that fish. Look at that fish. Whew. That hook popped out. So lucky. We got to get this guy back in. I don't want to overhandle him, but he has to be probably about 16, 17 inches. Oh, what a fight, what a fish. Woo, the adrenaline is still racing. That is a monster wild brownie from this stream. I'm just stoked. I'm disappointed I didn't bring my net. I wasn't going to be throwing streamers. That bag gets a little heavy. My back is fried from fishing all day yesterday, so I just didn't bring the net. And of course, right there in that spot, that's where I land my biggest fish of the weekend, and I don't have my net on me yet. I've carried it all weekend. So the spot was beautiful. Like I said, it was just a little bit of an undercut, you know, a good spot for a big fish to hide. And I didn't think it was going to be that big. It definitely was not my best handling of how to catch a fish, but at 17 inches, the idea that I was just going to get him right by my feet and be able to pick him up, odds were not good. I mean, you saw that the hook popped off basically right there at my feet, so I would imagine the same thing would have been said if I would have just tried to get him there. So whew, I am over the moon with this stream. I am blessed to have found something this good. I knew that it had the potential to be a good stream. It carries a Class A section in a different part, not even in the Class A section. Here I am catching 16 to 17 inch fish. I've already caught a 12 to 13. I got another, you know, 10 inch, maybe another 11 inch. So this has been absolutely incredible. So I'm glad you've been able to see it. I appreciate everybody sticking around to see these fish, and we're gonna try to get a couple more, and then we're gonna wrap it up for the day and head to another part, actually the Class A section of this stream, and then potentially one other stream for the day and call it quits on Central PA. But so with the glare of the sun, it is super hard to tell what's going on with my drift. I can't really pick up my sighter that well. And then it goes from super glare to like pitch black. So it's just, I'm actually seeing it a little easier in the sunlight than what I am in the dark. So considering the places that I've caught fish elsewhere in this stream, I can't believe that this spot has not yielded a fish yet. There we go. I was gonna say, there's no question that there's gotta be fish in it. But disappointing that that's the quality of it. You know, can't complain because we caught some other nice fish in other holes, but they say generally the better fish are in the top of the run, so you know, we're still on the backside, so we'll see what happens here, but lots of good water yet to be covered. Luckily no obstructions for hook sets, so that's nice. There we go. That's a nicer one. Ooh, the rainbow's dancing. He's a dancing fool. And he took the pink beaded, not bearded, pink beaded hare's ear. Kind of skated across the top of the water there. That was pretty cool. Definitely a stream that I will be back to and, you know, check out once or twice a year. There is no doubt about that. I can't believe I hadn't been to it yet. But you don't know what you don't know, so very lucky. There we go. Another one. Looks like a wild brown this time. Yep. Nice little wild brownie. He took the hare's ear. When I tied this, I really thought that I did not do a good job. When I tied this fly, I really didn't think that I had done that good of a job, to be honest with you. The hare's ear part, I thought was just fine. The problem for me was really just the fact that when I tied it, I wanted to put CDC on it, and I've really struggled doing that. So anybody that's watching, if you know how to tie a fly with CDC, you definitely know what you're doing. Put a wind knot in this, that's not good. But anyway, when I tied it, I was trying to put CDC on around the head, and it really bulked it up, and I didn't really get the, you know, extension or puff that I wanted. But these fish today, they've still taken it. There's been a good number of fish that have taken that hare's ear. So as much as I may not like it, at least the fish do. Alright, that's how we're going to end on a stock brown. But he took that pink beaded hare's ear. That's how we're going to wrap up this trip. Man, what a day. Extremely happy and fortunate to have fished this stream today here in PA. It's a tributary of Penns Creek. I mean, there's a boatload of them, and they're all good in their own right. I've definitely fished a few in my time here in PA that I've had some good success on, but this stream in particular, even though it doesn't hold the Class A designation, it still had a great population of wild trout, some of which just were absolutely huge. You know, I was watching SC Outdoors not long ago, another good channel, so check him out if you haven't already. And what he was saying is you know, sometimes just going to the wild trout streams list and fishing those, number one, you don't have as much pressure, and number two, those fish are a lot less likely to have gotten flies put in front of them, therefore they're a little bit more eager to eat. And then on top of that, sometimes they're a little bit bigger. The Class A streams sometimes can tend to be a little small. It varies stream to stream for sure, but this one was a gem, and I'm very happy to have gotten here. So if you haven't already, smash that subscribe button. We are trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. I am so close. It's been a long journey. Thank you to everybody that's been a part of taking it with me. You know, I've learned some stuff along the way from you guys. I've been lucky enough to get some flies from people. I've also connected with people. So YouTube has been really, really great, and I'm just thankful to have hit 1,000 subs. And I hope in my time that you've learned something from me, or found a stream that you liked, or if nothing else, just picked up a trick that maybe landed you one extra fish. So thank you guys for tuning back in, and I'll catch you next time out on the stream. So I'm fishing a remote stream out in PA, and I don't know if you can hear it in the background, but it is 7 a.m. and there is a guy that lives on this creek that is blasting music. He was More Than a Feeling was on earlier, and right now Hank Williams' Family Tradition's on. So I'll let that roll while I fish. Now shook me all night long. Kind of wish every stream was like this. Just get a playlist. That'd be awesome. I just gotta catch some fish.